Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. If this is your very first time, I'm so glad that you're here and I hope that you'll consider subscribing. I do have one special request, and that is if you like the content of this video, please hit that like button so that YouTube will push my video out to other people who have never seen my channel before. Now, let's get into this topic that I found so exciting to just really think about. And that is what advice you would give your younger self. And this is something that I put a lot of thought into. I've been looking at pictures of myself when I was younger, and when I look at little Danya, I want to hug that little girl. I want to tell her how much I love her, and I just want to take her by the hand and walk her through life and give her the advice that she wasn't given as a young person. But I can't do that, but I can think about it. So I have thought about a few things that I would want to share with that little person. But in doing that, I also thought about my experience, and which was pretty unique. I was raised by my great grandmother, not my grandmother, but my great grandmother. And it was a very challenging experience, though I do think with the perspective that I have now that it prepared me through a lot of life's challenges. But back then, of course, I did not see it that way. It was rough and rocky. My great grandmother was not a warm and fuzzy person. At least with me, she wasn't. I don't recall her ever saying, "I love you." And when she got mad at me, she would hold a grudge that would last for days. Oh, it was such a challenge. But when I look back now, I do think that she did the best that she could with what she knew and the wisdom that she had. She took care of me from age 2 to age 15, and I think that was her way of showing love. She didn't say it, but her actions said otherwise, in that she gave up whatever her life was at that time and she took care of me. So for that, I am grateful, and I am here. I'm doing well in my life. So she definitely did something right. But I still think about that little girl that I was, and there's some advice that I would want to give her. And the first piece of advice that I would want to give her is to figure out what you really want in life and say no to everything else. As you travel through life, distractions will come up left and right. You'll be walking through the mall and dresses and shoes will call your name and want you to spend all your money. A man will come along and he'll say all the right things and he'll be so cute and you'll want to give him your attention, but 2 months later, a year later, 2 years later, he won't be around. If the things that pop up in your life are not taking you toward your goal or your target, you need to ignore them. You need to tune them out and stay focused, because what you focus on will expand. So if you think about it in that context, when distractions come up that you give your attention to, but they're not leading you to your goals, they're taking up space in your life that they shouldn't be taking up. So I would tell little Danya to stay focused, set your target, and walk straight ahead toward that target. And even if something does get you off track, you make your way back to that path that's going to lead you to your target. The next thing that I would want to tell my younger self is that motivation will get you to the starting line, but it's discipline that will get you to the finish line. Motivation is not always going to get you to the finish line. Motivation is based on how you feel. And as we all know, our feelings go up and down depending on the day, depending on the moment, depending on whether the sun is out or it's cloudy. Your motivation is based on your feelings, and you cannot make decisions based on your feelings all the time. Discipline is that inner drive that says, I am going to go after this goal regardless of how I feel, regardless of whether or not the sun is out or it's cloudy. I am going to do what it takes to reach this goal. I remember the time that I moved from Los Angeles, California to the Washington, D.C. area to attend Howard University. And I was so full of motivation. I was super excited. I had $12 to my name. I had a one-way ticket to D.C. and a dream to one day get that piece of paper. I was motivated. But what I didn't know is all of the challenges that were going to come up in my 4-year experience at Howard University. Like the time I didn't have money and I couldn't eat. Like the time that I had to sit out a semester. But you know what? I did it. I graduated. I got that piece of paper that I wanted. But I want to go back and tell my younger self, Danya, you were going to be motivated to achieve certain things, but the road ahead of you is not going to be easy. It's going to be, filled with thorns and rocks that you did not expect, but you stay disciplined. The next thing that I would want to tell myself is that you are the total package. You're here because God created you. You were created with purpose and for a purpose. And whatever that purpose is, God put everything in you in order for you to be successful in that purpose. If I had known that when I was younger, man, the confidence that I would have had would have been through the roof. I was insecure growing up. I was insecure. Even when I did have certain achievements, I still felt insecure. I didn't know that everything that I needed to be successful in life, God had already put it in me. But that's what I would want to go back and tell little Danya. You're the total package. You need to be confident as you walk through this life that God has set up for you, because everything you need, all the ingredients, they're already in you. You just have to discover them. You don't need to find them. They're not lost. You just need to discover them. And the last thing that I would tell my younger self is whatever you do in life, as you're traveling through life, try new things often. Go a different route. Change your routine. Read books that are from different cultures. Read all kinds of books. Travel. Go to places that you've never been before. Go to a neighborhood that you've never been through before. Make new friends. Make friends with people who don't look like you, who don't necessarily believe what you believe. Because when you expose yourself to new things, you get exposed to new ideas. You get exposed to new ways of thinking. It makes you a more well-rounded person. When you expose yourself to new things, you always have something to talk about. When you meet new people, you always have a conversation piece. So try new things. Don't limit yourself. When you just stick to one thing, you limit your mind. You limit your exposure. So these are the things that I would tell my younger self. Think about the things that you would tell your younger self. And then whatever that advice is, if you know a younger person now, because none of us can go back to our childhood. We're here now. All the decisions that we've made in life have led us to where we are now, good or bad. But the good thing is that we can shape our futures, even at this point. We can't go back and change anything about the past, but we can certainly change and shape our future. But at the same time that you're doing that with your own life, if you see younger people around you that you know need the guidance that you wish you had gotten when you were younger, give them that guidance. I've done it, and it's one of the most fulfilling things that I can do in my life, because I'm at the age now where I'm full of experiences. I'm full of wisdom that I've gained over the years. So I have a lot to share with other people, which is why I do YouTube videos, because there's so much in me that's bottled up. I want to release it and give it to others. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you'll sit down and think about what advice you would want to give your younger self, and let me know. Until next time, have a wonderful week, and I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye.